At Mark D'Antonio's weekly press conference heading into Game 2 against the South Florida Bulls, two topics seem to dominate the discussion. First of all, the quarterback situation, which remains unsettled. Andrew Maxwell and Connor Cook enter this week as co-starters, as according to the depth chart once again. And the other noticeable difference was the removal of Benny Fowler from the starting lineup and replaced with McGarrett Kings, a sophomore.
You know, right now, I think the main focus is what we do internally right now with our quarterback situation, and we're going to look at things as the week progresses and make some decisions near the end of the week. I'm going to talk about who's starting right now. And on that offensively, I've already mentioned it, we need more explosive plays, and I think that's what you saw on the sideline, and I think that's what you saw in the film after the fact. We need to catch the ball more consistently. We need to be more multidimensional. Some of that's structure, some of that is execution. But we can play better. I know that we can play better. We've played better in the past, and we look forward to our next opportunities.
Dylan, what do you make of these changes? I know Coach D'Antonio was quiet on the details regarding the quarterbacks, but what do you make of this, and where do you see the situation heading moving forward?
Kind of speaking in order, I think Mark D'Antonio is starting to have fun with the quarterback situation a little bit. I think he's very cautious. He doesn't want to welcome a media circus every week of asking him what the quarterback situation is going to be. So he addresses the quarterbacks kind of like he addresses injuries, saying he's not going to talk about it. He's not going to discuss it much. He'll have fun with the media. He'll give a smile here or there, but he's not. I don't think he's really trying to delve into this every week. He's opened up the competition to Andrew Maxwell, Connor Cook, and now Tyler O'Connor and Damian Terry are not listed as co-starters along with them. So finally starting to see some functionality at the quarterback position. At wide receiver, they just didn't get the job done against Western Michigan. You had your fifth-year senior Benny Fowler drop about 3 balls during the game, and when you're a receiver, you got to catch the ball. I mean, that's how the offense flows, and if it's McGarrett Kings, if it's D'Anthony Arnett, if it's someone else, they have to put them in place to have the best chance to win.
Well, we don't want the immediate circus every week, first of all, but I understand that that's the nature of society. But I think the most important thing is we're going to practice this week, and I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. We're going to practice. We're going to find out some things in practice. We're going to make decisions as we move forward. I think our players have all made plays on game day, first of all. Benny Fowler's made plays on game day. Keith Mumphrey has, Aaron Burbidge has. I've seen Tony Lippett make plays. The important part that we need is consistency in performance. But you hear that term thrown around by a lot of people. But that's really the key to success, is being able to be consistent, long-term. And the more you play, the better you should be in that area. But we can't settle for less. We can't settle for it. And we have to make sure that everybody's getting an opportunity to move forward.
Perhaps this could be the first domino to fall on this offense. D'Antonio has made a reputation as a loyal guy with sticking through his guys through thick and thin. If a fifth-year guy like Fowler can be removed from the starting lineup, who's to say that he won't bench a guy like Andrew Maxwell or any of these other guys, barring they don't begin to produce. I think that's interesting that Kings gets the next shot. I know that he's got a lot of reviews from players and coaches in fall camp. So it'll be interesting to see, if he can sort of seize that opportunity, or if any of these other guys can really distinguish themselves. When it comes to Game 2, though, South Florida had a disappointing loss against FCS McNeese State. They don't even play the same level of D1 competition, and they kind of blew South Florida out in Tampa, where the South Florida plays. What are your sort of expectations for this team?
There's no getting around it. South Florida is not a very good football team. I mean, they had Skip Holt as their coach for a few years, and he did not continue the same level of recruiting excellence that program was starting to have. That was a team that was routinely in the top 25. They had made it up to the top 5 one year. It was a very solid program. They're struggling right now. They got beat by a team that should not be at their caliber. And this will be a tremendous opportunity for Michigan State to see where they're at, given the quarterback and wide receiver dilemma. But granted, though, it is South Florida. Everything needs to be kept in context. If Andrew Maxwell goes out and throws 300 yards, it's still South Florida. You have to take it in the context of what he'd be able to do against an Iowa, or Nebraska, or Michigan. The Big Ten's obviously what you're shooting for, but as long as you see improvement in the game, I think that's what Michigan State wants him to do. That's what Mark D'Antonio is looking for, and hopefully that's what they'll see this week.
South Florida comes off a tough loss to McNeese, and turnovers, things of that nature in the first game. They returned 2 starters on offense, which makes it a little bit difficult. Defensively, they do return, I think, 7 starters as I look at this. If you count Aaron, 7 starters if you count Aaron Lynch as a potential starter who played at Notre Dame as a true freshman. So they've got talent, they can run, they're athletic. I think Coach Taggart is in his first year, so this was a transitional game for him as he moves forward, and we expect him to be better.
And so I think the Bulls give them that opportunity, given, all we know is that they've lost to McNeese State, but that would be a glaring sign of weakness as of now. Everything seems to point towards that fourth game, Notre Dame. Everything leading up to that sort of seems like, a glorified scrimmage almost. Everything's going to be worked out and tweaked and, revamped heading into that Notre Dame game. I think MSU's just trying to find the answers with this game and next week at Youngstown State before they head to South Bend to play the Irish.
And you couldn't have worked it out any better when you have so many question marks. I mean, Michigan State really does have some question marks. Where is Jeremy Langford going to be able to produce week to week? I mean, is he going to be able to get the carries, that Le'Veon Bell did? I don't think he will. I think Riley Bullen needs to step up, or Nick Hill, to get in there and do some things. So, obviously with the first opening schedule working towards Notre Dame, it'll be interesting to see what Michigan State will be able to do. It couldn't have started much better with the schedule they've got, though.
All right, that's it for today. Check back statenews.com all week for coverage heading into the South Florida game, and obviously statenews.com after the game as well.